Hi, everybody. Today we have Z from 3X Capital, and we're going to be talking all things Dubai, property, everything really. We can even talk about coffee if you want, but I'm sure we have more exciting things to talk about than that.
The French vanilla of Leo's. Yes.
The French vanilla we can talk about from Leo's.
Yes.
But thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me.
I would kind of just like to start it with how you came to Dubai, how your company started, just, know a bit more about you.
This is actually a very funny story. So I wanted to go to the UK.
You're in the wrong country.
Right. So what happened is, so I was working for a BPO of HSBC in India.
Oh, yeah.
So I was a sales coach there. And there were these people who came from the UK and they loved me so much. And because they were like, Zohaib, you're so good at your job. I cannot hire you from India, but if you come to the UK, we can hire you. And she gave me her card. And so what I did is I went to an agency. I gave all the savings I had. And then the agency ran away. So I was broke.
Oh, no. And were you in UK at this point?
No, in India. So
still in India.
So I applied for some sort of 1-year MBA, sort of like a student visa. And they just sort of there was a scam. I was involved in a scam.
Right.
So I was completely on zero. And then one of my friends in Dubai were like, hey, Zohaib, you were born and raised here. Why don't you just come out to Dubai? And I was like, okay, if you give me a visa, I'll come by. So I helped this friend get a job in Emirates.
No
So it was like this karma cycle,
How many years ago was that?
This was in like 2009.
So about 16 years ago.
Yeah, 16 years ago.
Wow.
So they just sent me a visa and I was like, okay,
When you were in that situation 16 years ago, broke, did you ever think you'd be where you are now?
Oh my God, if the journey, is there some incidents where, no ways.
Were there, like key things that happened in the last 16 years that really highlight that it got you to where you are today?
There are actually, when you hit a certain kind of rock bottom.
This is supposed to be a positive story.
No, it is positive. It is positive. So when you hit a certain kind of rock bottom and then you don't have a plan B, right? See, most people, what happened is that, they're like, okay, if this doesn't work, I'm just going to go back.
Yeah.
They have a plan B. I didn't have a plan B.
So it was Dubai or nothing?
Yeah, it was more like, that's it. When someone pisses me off, how do I say? Like when sometimes someone does something really wrong to you,
Mm-hmm.
there are some people who like sort of subdue, and then there are some people who want to fight back. So it was more like a fight against the system and the politics and all of that. And
I guess you were fighting for yourself as well.
Yeah, for my life, yes. So
Wow.
it kind of spanned out, kind of spanned out. All of these they're sort of they're part of my journey, in a funny way. So there were some companies who kind of like, again, scammed us and took all our money and went away. But, we never stopped, It was all about persistence,
Amazing.
consistency. That's it.
And do you still kind of face these issues day to day of people, not being authentic, companies that you work with not being authentic, and you kind of see how these situations can still be happening to people?
See, it can be happening to people because it's all about the mindset, right? See, some people are all about just closing the deal and making that money, right? And there are some people who have this long-term mindset where I met this amazing guy today, in fact, and he was like, hey, Zohaib, and this guy's like 2 million followers. It's crazy. But he was not exactly into real estate. It was more
We
like,
should have had him on the show.
I know, right? Not me. I mean, much better.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. I'm so
gosh.
sorry. I
Next
know.
time.
Next time. So he was like, Zohaib, I want to work with you because I feel like I don't normally talk religious. This guy, I'll tell you what he told me. Okay. So he told me, Zohaib, I don't want to work for this world. I'm answerable to God, so I want to make sure my guys don't make money. And I feel like you try to give that sort of advice. You do that due diligence, the research, and then you give that right product. Most companies that I've been, so he's new to Dubai. It's like most companies that I've been, they assign a developer to you and tell them to just sell that one product, and so each agent is assigned a developer. But that just doesn't make sense, right? So
Well, every person's different. Every category is
Right,
different.
right.
As much as it's for your client, it's also, I guess, got to work for you.
Yes,
Ultimately, you've got to have a good relationship with these developers.
true,
I
true.
mean, speaking of that, what do you look for when you want a good, healthy, successful relationship between developers, for yourself, for your clients? What's important to you?
See, I guess the ethical value matters. It really does, right? The mindset of the developer as well.
And that's interesting you say that because, most people would give, a bog standard answer, how quickly they develop, where they see themselves in 5 years. But I
Right.
love that you look past that.
See, imagine, recently I saw this video where someone's like, hey, we completed this building in 12 months. And I'm like, I'm scared of that building.
Right.
I'm like, would I live? And see, again, maybe I'm not as technologically advanced, maybe there's some sort of 3D printing that's happening. And, maybe, but when I dig deeper, I was born and raised here, right? So my dad worked in HSBC for 22 years. And so most people who work for these developers, like the contractors, the electricians, the plumbers, they are like from Asian, right? South Asia. So I sort of understand the sort of materials they use,
Right.
the quality of the products, and you sort of understand their mindset, you know?
And really, they are the foundation of the company.
It
Without
is.
them, there
So
is no company.
and this is the truth. There are some developers who are just all about the money, and they're doing quite well. They're doing really well. And there are some people who genuinely want to give a good product to the client. And in the long run, I feel like they're the ones who are going to stay. Like Dubai has gone through various cycles.
Yeah.
Few agencies, few developers have always stayed, and a lot of people just come and go.
Is it very easy for you to decipher who those, companies, those developers are and who are here for the long run and who you can see, just being here for the short-term returns?
It's tough. See, at the end of the day, I can just sort of analyze, the numbers, performance. You meet the people, you have a chat, you do a bit of research, a bit of due diligence. But I think at this stage, after 16 years, right, I sort of get it.
Yeah.
I do get it. When you go to a place, you sort of understand, and yeah, I think I do understand. Some products I just sort of stay away from very, very politely. I'm like, hey, you know what? I don't think I can sell this. So,
Yeah. And
yeah,
I think, Leos, obviously, we are up and coming in Dubai, but we were in the UK for 10 years
right.
before this. And, something that's so important to us is giving back to Dubai. And, you know, Dubai does so much for really real estate, it gives so many people jobs and incomes, but ultimately we have to also give back. And, whether that be through charity or whether that be to our staff, I think it's so important because without them, we wouldn't be here.
No, see, Leo's actually, when it came to the market, it was a buzz. Like when Hadley Heights came, so it sold out really quick.
Hmm.
And it was because the designs were very modern, and it was a buzz. So I think a few developers at that stage, they really sort of, so Leo's was one of those. Leo's, there was a developer called Iman, there was Imtiaz.
Yeah.
So all you guys like sort of came together and you created a buzz. You created a buzz of quality. So now everyone see the biggest sort of challenge between, let's say, the government developers and private developers are on such factors, right? The quality of construction, because the homeowner or the end user, that's what they look for.
Do you think they can tell most of the clients you work with? Do they rely on you in terms of sussing out whether the quality is what it should be, or ultimately, it's down to them?
Um, in my case, I think my clients sort of rely on me, but sort of general market sentiments at this point, I think it's a bit sad that let's see, there are some developers who are so aggressive on marketing and hyped marketing. For example, you guys don't market a lot, right? And there are some developers who don't market a lot. Like for example, this is developer H&H. They probably develop some of the best products in the market, but they don't market themselves. And then you have some developers who market so aggressively that people, you know, people invest with people who they trust. Okay. So when maybe if a developer says that, hey, I have the biggest guys, I have the biggest people, I have this, I have that, they think that it's safe and you can invest with them. But
So
it's,
do a lot of your clients initially come to you and they'll say, well, I've seen this on a billboard,
yeah.
I want it. And is it kind of down to you to then say, well, just because it's on a billboard doesn't actually mean
Yeah.
that it's the perfect home or the perfect investment?
See, I have to educate them. Now, I've lost a lot of deals like that because see now sometimes they're like, oh no, I think it's great because we went to a roadshow in London or we saw it on an Emirates first class. We saw the ad, right? And it's just marketing, right? It's maybe it's not reality. There are a lot of hyped ads at this stage. So it's quite tough. See, the market is booming. When the market is booming, everything sells.
Yeah.
And it's down to that right consultant, I guess.
So I guess then, would you say it's 50% down to marketing, 50% down to the actual development of a project? Or you think really marketing doesn't play a huge part at all?
No, see, for sales, it's all about marketing, nothing else. You could sell, I mean, if today I say this is a Bugatti glass, it could sell for like, and I could sell this one glass just because it's marketed like, oh, this is the Bugatti
What
glass.
what if it was a Leos glass?
The people wouldn't know. See, that's the thing, that's the power of marketing. Everyone knows, what color is your Bugatti, everyone, so if I say that you could sell
One
this
day.
you could sell this for $100,000 and people would buy it and there are buyers for it in Dubai.
Yeah.
But it's all about.
I remember there was a banana taped to a museum wall.
Yes.
And I think it sold for millions. And it was the buzz, wasn't it?
Number plates in Dubai.
It's a great
Here
example.
we go. Yeah. So it's just in Dubai, everything sells. But then, yeah, it's just about positioning. Yeah.
So do you find you need to convince your clients about Dubai, or most of them that come are interested in Dubai? And if they are interested, or if they're not, what kind of key selling points do you give to them to get them interested?
Oh no, Dubai you don't need to sell. I think the government has done a phenomenal job. Dubai
Makes your job a bit easier.
Dubai is the easiest product to sell. Like I think, I think I mentioned this in some video where I was like, I think the ruler of Dubai is the best businessman in the world. I mean, the whole world now wants to sort of, if not live in Dubai, at least invest in Dubai because they understand that Dubai is a booming market.
Yeah.
So everyone looks at Dubai as one of the safest cities to live in. So that's part of marketing, right? Right? It's been.
Well, it's also true.
It is true, but see, the fact that the whole world knows, maybe, I don't know, maybe Denmark is a safe city to live,
True.
right? Maybe New Zealand is safe, but the way Dubai has been marketed, it's phenomenal. Everyone's talking about Dubai. So you have haters, you have lovers, and then there's people like me. When I've lived here all my life, so I can say that, hey, it is true. It's a great place to live, so.
And do you see it kind of going the same way for the next 5 years? Is this where the market will continue to boom? Do you see there being a lot of competition between developers? What do you see for the next 5 years?
Ooh.
I know that's such a bog standard question, isn't it? But I'm sure everyone gives a different opinion. Some people say that, red brick will always be something to invest in. Some people say, we might see a drop. What's your opinion? Do you know? Or, are you just like everyone else that's kind of, doing what they can while they can?
Do you want a boring answer? I'll give you a long, boring answer.
Okay.
Okay, see, the way, do you know why US is the world power? Like everyone looks at US like number one in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
So post, I think, Second World War, US supported the UK. See, UK and US were considered as the biggest world powers, right? There was a time where UK, the British Empire, the sun would never set in the British Empire, right? But then I think during the Second World War, US helped, and then US was determined as the world power, right? And the whole world looked up onto US.
Yeah.
Now, China doesn't accept right? And China's like, hey, I'm bigger than you, and then there's everyone's now fighting with the US. I think Canada's fighting with the US. And so there's a lot of issues happening that way. So there is this shift in world power that people don't, there's this war, like this Cold War, like happening, right? And somewhere between all of this, there's this Saudi, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Dubai, where Middle East as a whole is being marketed as extremely rich, safe,
Yeah, really. You
powerful
think of it as a safe
jobs,
haven.
and they're very forward thinking. They have a plan. There's the Vision 2040. There's a D33, and so there's this whole millionaire migration happening. Some people love. Okay, you know what? I don't want any of this. I want peace. I want to go to Thailand. They go to Phuket. They go to Lombok. I've got
Yeah.
it. I've got an investor who's investing into beachfront villas in Lombok. It's an island opposite Phuket.
Sounds lovely.
So and that's the lifestyle some people want. Some people want hustle.
Maybe that will be next for Leos. We'll have to start going into Thailand.
So if you understand these charts, I think Dubai, the Middle East in general, is an extremely safe place to be.
And I hear a lot of people say that Dubai is a bit of a bubble. And I think a lot of people say it also in a negative way. But I personally think of it as such a positive. We stay out of the politics. We stay
Yes.
out of the drama, whether that be as a country as a whole or just the people in it. You come here, everybody's on the same page. They want to work hard. They want to enjoy their life. And, I think that's an amazing thing. We are staying away from the politics and just focusing on the future.
See, I think a lot of people, especially from US, UK, they find Dubai fake, right? They think that it's, oh no, I don't have my freedom. And I think it's fake. But the thing is, reality, or let's say the situation is that in the UK and US, the people who make money are harassed with tax. And the people who don't make money, who don't have a job, maybe want to just chill all day, they have a good life because the government takes care of them. They get accommodation. They're taken care of. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, see, in people say, okay, in Dubai, if you lose your job, you're out of the country. But over there, you're taken care of. Like, you're protected.
Yeah.
So it is a capitalist economy where, so in Dubai, the cycle is different, where it's like, they support you being rich, they want you to make money, right? And they bring in all these, like the doctors, the ultra HNIs, the HNIs, the people who are being harassed by the governments who have to pay like 50% tax. They're like, hey, come on to Dubai, we're a haven,
Yeah.
chill, have a great lifestyle. The other day, I met the CFO of Rolls Royce, okay?
Oh, cool.
And he was like, Zohaib, the problem is, let's say in Singapore, so you're from Singapore. So let's say the employees between the age of 30 and 40 who earn somewhere like 35 to 40,000 dirhams a month. In Singapore, they have to live in a very normal building. There's no pool, there's no gym. They have to drive a very normal car because taxes are really high.
Yeah.
But when they come to Dubai, they can live in a really cool place, drive a really flashy car. I'm not saying it's show off, but people like that lifestyle.
I guess also that Dubai embrace the culture. They want, like you said, they want people to thrive, whether that be developers, whether that be end users. They want the people to enjoy their life here. They're not just doing it for the country, they do it for the people.
And there's one more thing that people from the West have this misconception. They're like, oh yeah, okay, you suppress the poor. You're slave drivers, and oh yes, it's great place for the rich, but what about the poor? See, now let's say India, Pakistan, I mean, they're large economy, a lot of people, a lot of workforce from there, right? Now, let's say a salary of 3,000 dirhams, it's considered really low, right? It's considered like, how can someone live on 3,000 dirhams? But let's suppose you employ a driver, okay? 3,000 dirhams a month. In Pakistan, okay, a doctor makes 100,000 rupees. Now, 3,000 dirhams is almost 250,000 rupees in Pakistan. This guy earns more than a doctor.
Wow.
He can take care of his family. He can build a house. So we don't look at it in that perspective. They're like, oh no, you guys are horrible people. You guys are the slave. No, it serves a purpose, right? See, at least if they get a job, they can take care of the family. You don't understand what happens in those countries, right? So it's
So you're kind of saying that Dubai, the money we give to people in Dubai and the jobs we have doesn't just affect their lives in Dubai, but can have a
it
positive
a
effect on their
huge
lives
effect.
in all the other countries. It
Yes,
supports, the whole system in other countries, because if Dubai can supply jobs, people in Dubai who can then help their families in places like Pakistan, India,
yes.
then they are supporting their country and the government don't. It's a circle,
It's a
isn't it?
circle. It's a
Yeah.
circle. And then, see, when you're talking about, okay, is it a bubble? See, as long as you have massive economies like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Saudi, these are all buffers, right?
Yeah.
And now, see, if someone's working all their lives or lived all their lives in the UK, in US, you must understand that the immigrants, right? It forms a large part of the population, right?
Hmm.
Now, when they want to retire, they want to come close to their home, right?
Hmm.
So these people are buying these mansions, these villas. A lot of them are people who maybe they cannot go back to their own country like India or Pakistan but Dubai, since it's a bit modern, it's just a 2 hour or 3 hour flight away.
Yeah.
So it's that perfect place to settle.
Yeah.
So they're close to home and they can have a bit of
Nice
their
middle
own.
grounds.
And it's the mix, it's such an international mix in Dubai that everyone's very comfortable. I mean, you can be from the UK, I'm from India, he's from Pakistan. Are you? Yeah. So see, we all live in harmony, right? We don't care. We
100%.
all live in harmony, So that's the
Yeah.
idea. In my son's school, there are 121 nationalities. I don't even know the name of 121
Wow.
nationalities, All
That's
study together,
incredible.
all live in harmony. It's fantastic.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then would you say that real estate is at the forefront of leading everything that we've discussed?
Uh-huh.
Is it the biggest money
Maker.
maker? Yeah.
No, in a funny way. I was studying, so I keep trying to study the GDP and of where it's heading. I think real estate was, I don't know, between 5 and 15%. I've checked the numbers again.
No
It was not
way.
the highest money maker. I think
So
that
we're just a small part in the
we're
big
just
picture.
and that's another thing. People think, I mean, you must the kind of stuff that the Arabs are investing into, they're investing to sustain. Did you know? So the other day I had a client, he was a billionaire from Germany. So he supplies energy from wind and solar to the German government.
Hmm.
Okay. And so he came to Dubai because Dubai has one of the biggest solar plants in the world.
Hmm.
I wouldn't even know that. So he's like, hey, you should check out the solar
Interesting.
plant. I'm like, hey, yeah, why not?
But honestly, it is all connected, because the fact that, real estate isn't the biggest contributor, but solar energy might be. But then solar energy influences sustainability. Sustainability influences how we build.
It's all about, see, Europeans love sustainability investment into,
100%.
so some people love the lifestyle. They're trying to have a bit of everything. I think the only thing that we're lacking on at this stage, which I've heard from most investors, is that, okay, we don't have universities like in Oxford or Harvard, we don't have the best, like we can do a lot more into health. So I had a team of doctors come in, again, investors from Australia. And they were like, I think there's a lot more that can be done in healthcare, but they're working on it.
Mhm.
That's what matters,
So
right?
so in terms of kind of, developments that are being done, you would say your client's happy with that? It's more as a whole, they want, more medical, more schools, that sort of thing.
See, as of now, the clients see, I had this client from the UK.
Mm.
He keeps telling me this one dialogue. He's like, Zohaib, there's nowhere else to go.
Wow.
This is a guy who has already invested almost 50 million dirhams into Dubai, and he wants to invest anywhere up to 150 million the next 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's sort of liquidating his assets and bringing it to Dubai. He's like, Zohaib, there's nowhere else to go. See, a person who can invest between 50 and 150 million, he can live anywhere in the world.
And has he invested other places, or is his only interest Dubai?
So he has a lot of investments in the UK. Apart from that, it's Dubai,
Wow.
and that's it. He's like, I love the place. It's great for my family. So he in fact, so he had, when he came to Dubai, he had one daughter. Now recently, in American Hospital of Dubai, he another daughter. It's
I mean,
beautiful.
he must really believe in it to, say you'll put all your money into it.
So he loved everything, like even the whole process in the hospital, everything. He's like, Zohaib, this is fantastic. It is great. The experience is fantastic. And so, no, he's like, there's no other place. Dubai is doing really well. He's like, there's no other place.
Amazing. If you had to sell Dubai to somebody, somebody that, has those kind of traditional views on Dubai, what would kind of your 30-second pitch be?
Oh, 30-second pitch. See, I've lived all my life in Dubai. I think it's a great. I'm third. My son's third generation in Dubai.
Wow.
We love the place. I think I think it has the best schools, best hospitals. It's really safe. You can have a good lifestyle, and you're like, I think 6 hours away from, I don't know, 130 countries. So I think it's a great place to live.
I'm sold. Even though I already live here, if I wasn't, I'm sold.
Right. I mean, see, if I've lived, if I want to raise my family here, I mean, see, now being, let's say, Indian, I've got family all over the world. My sister
Yeah.
lives in Australia.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got my
I'm
cousin.
surprised you haven't done that 30-second pitch to her.
No, because so she's a doctor,
Yeah.
and see, doctors have a complete different world. They're obsessed. So she's obsessed, and then kids raised. And I've got cousins living in Canada, and all over. See, any part of the world, I've got somebody living there. And so moving is not a big issue. Anyone can relocate, right? It's just that we're so comfortable here. It's a great
hard to
lifestyle. It's a great
leave.
place. It's hard to leave. So when I go to any other country, I miss Dubai. I start missing Dubai.
I was in the UK last weekend, and I kept saying, when can I go back to Dubai? I missed it.
You wouldn't believe it. The other day I went to India. So the dad has a farm now, okay, back home in India. I cannot stay there more than 2 days. It's a great
terrible,
lifestyle.
isn't it?
And I'm like, you know what? Okay, Dad, you're okay. Okay, I'm going back. Okay, anytime you need me, just call me. And that's the best part. I'm like, hey, anytime you need me, call me. I can be home in 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's like 3 hours. That's
Best
it.
location, isn't it?
So it's great.
Yeah. And then the sort of clients that you work with, are they looking for, the multi-million-dollar penthouses, or are they more looking for affordable family living? Is it a mix of both? Do you steer them in one sort of direction?
It's the full house. I've got from £100,000 to, in Dubai, the sky's the limit, right? Right. So no, the full. In fact, I haven't had. Oh, I have had. Okay, so yeah, full house.
Is it harder to find the affordable housing or the penthouses?
See, at this point, everything is hard.
Sure, you want that as your answer?
It is tough, right? See, there's so many products every day. There's a new launch, and then. See, if you're like...
Does that make your job easier or harder?
It makes it harder, because
Really?
see, if I want to give that right advice to clients, I need to know the products myself, and then I have to sit and study. And it's actually quite challenging to get... See, because I don't want a day... Like, let's suppose I sold a product to a client. If tomorrow he comes to me, hey, Zohaib, you didn't tell me about this product. This is so much better. It's a better investment. I feel horrible. It'll hurt my ego.
Is there too many developers, or there's no such thing?
I don't think there's such a thing, but I just hope the developers develop their ethical standards as well, Like, I don't like... See, sometimes, okay, it's a booming market, right? And when people build bird cages, right? Like really tiny houses, it's just not practical, right? It's not practical. And it will sell. Okay, now imagine... Okay, someone says, oh, the house is only for 1 million rooms. But in reality, it's a box, and maybe this guy is developing a property with a much better floor plan, which will actually gain value. This is not going to gain value, but I would sell it, oh, it's just 1 million rooms. I'll just pay 500,000. And it's going to go to 1.5 because that's the market value. But that's manipulating facts.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why it's a lot harder, actually, now because, yeah.
You really have to
really study,
sift through the good, the bad, and the ugly.
I have Excels, so I have I love my Excel sheets, because when you put all the numbers over there, it's
And Leos is at the top, of course.
of course,
Of
yeah, of
course.
course. Yeah, why not? I'm Leo. So bad. So cheesy. So bad. But I'm born in August, I am a Leo.
Well, that's good to know.
Good to know. Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me?
Do I have any questions for you? Do I have any questions? What are your plans on market? See, I think Leo's a great, like I told you, I think Leo's a great product. I think you guys are really high in quality. If I see the mock apartment, it's fantastic. It's really nice, But I see, and initially you had a surge, right? Like I said, I think Hadley Heights was one of the best surges. Now I know the products you have in Warsan and in District 11. I think they're some of the best priced products in the market, right? For that particular area, in the whole of District 11, you're the best priced product. And the whole Warsan area, there's so much development happening over there. The metro station is coming up over there. It's right next to Silicon. I think some of the best university schools. It's phenomenal product, but it's not out there. Why?
It's a good question. You know what? It's a lot of what you said. There are so many things that come out, and it's kind of making sure that we market it, but also we stick to our core values, that we are producing stuff that we are proud of, and working with existing clients, and even if that sometimes means keeping things more under the radar, because we have the clients that are coming back and saying, well, we're interested, and kind of working out what works best, whether it is the big advertising or whether it is working with our existing clients. It's kind of it's still interesting to see what works best. And for Hadley Heights, like you said, that did just,
Really
sell out straight
Boom.
away. And then we have, our townhouses and villas that, are a different clientele. So the way we market it is different, because, it could be, investors looking, to buy in bulk. Sometimes, it's families looking for 5 years' time. So the way you sell a 1 to 2 bedroom apartment is very different from the way you sell, a townhouse or a villa. And also, different things are a priority. Kensington Gardens, focuses a lot on sustainability. And, it's in Greenwood, which is, a big upcoming area. So our focus for how we kind of sell that product really varies on where it is, what it is, who our end user we want to be. And I think that's really important to us.
So Leo's is a classic example of okay, District 11. There are developers much more priced, and they're sold out. It's just because of the whole branding. Like, I don't understand the relationship between Lamborghini and a house. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Bugatti, Mercedes. I love Mercedes. I wish someday I'd buy a Bugatti, but I don't see the relationship. I don't see the relationship, But that's the problem, right? Sometimes marketing is so aggressive that people don't look into the actual product quality. So I really hope people see. Like I said, Greenwood is an upcoming location. The one in DLRC, again, fantastic product, great price, the best price in the market. But your competitors are selling much cheaper quality, but they're selling much faster, just because they have a sales team of 600 agents. Yeah, and they're like, there's that, aggressive salespeople,
Look, for us, our aim is, not to be one of those companies that, are in 2 years and out in the next 2 years. We're here for the long run. We want to be, a name that is recognized, and a company that's around in 10, 20, 100 years' time. So, if that means, things being a bit slower and prioritizing quality and relationships, then so be it.
No, I think that makes sense. I think that's fair. That's why I told you I like working with ethical developers. And 100%.
So hopefully we're still in your good books.
Yeah. So what do you? So you've moved to Dubai recently. What are your thoughts?
I love it. I'm never leaving. No, it's amazing. I mean, I think the main thing is that people wake up every day excited. In the UK, you know, it's dreary, the weather, people getting up in the dark, and there's something about the
I'm
sun
not saying
coming
that.
out.
She's saying it. I'm not saying it. She's saying it. I'm not saying anything against it.
But there's something about the sun coming out, and you know, it just puts everybody in a good mood, and you're excited.
Right.
I mean, so people, you know, including my family, have this so many misconceptions on Dubai.
They do,
And I
right?
think once you're
They do.
here,
Once you're here, they have
it
to come
changes
here.
it. But I also think once you're here, it's very easy to fall into the tourist side of things. And I think there's so much more
There
to
is
Dubai,
so much more.
and you
There's
just
so-
have to find it.
So it's funny. I was into the corporate relocation business before, for a bit, and
You're a man of many talents.
so when these clients used to come in, they used to wear these long skirts, and they're like, can we hold hands? And you know, and then I was like, can we come to a mall? And so I used to have breakfast in, like, let's say, Mall of the Emirates or Dubai Mall, and half an hour into the mall, and they're like, oh my god, we don't dress this outrageous back in our countries.
Literally. Exactly. Well, if that doesn't sum up Dubai, then I don't know what does.
Right, that's it. So please come have a coffee in Dubai Mall, 30 minutes, and then
And,
judge.
you know, buy property with Leos while you're there.
That's it. That's the plan. That's the plan.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. Honestly, it was so interesting. And
Thank you. I hope it didn't bore
hopefully
you.
we can do it again.
100%.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.